Hey guys, we're back with another Brush to Breakdown. Always so excited to be here. Today we're going to go through and do kind of a three-part series over the next 3 weeks. And we are actually going to go through different age groups and how to make games for these different age groups. So if you're new here, welcome. I am Lindsay. We are a no-code gaming platform, Brush.io, no-code gaming platform that empowers a non-tech, non-gamer audience like content creators, educators, social impact organizations to create their very own custom video games. And so today we are going to be focusing kind of on education and on education for a young audience. This here that you are seeing is our home page, and you're going to want to make sure that you are signed in right here. So it says Brushniverse coming soon, which is very exciting, but yours will say your name most likely. You can absolutely change that. It can say whatever you want it to say right up here, but mine says Brushniverse coming soon. So I'm going to come down and we're going to do a couple of things. So we're going to start with we're going to go from 2 to 12, which means we're going through basically all of elementary, right? So we want to make games that will provide something for first graders, second graders, third graders, all the way up to our middle schoolers, right? And so that is a very wide range of topics and things that we're going to do. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to just kind of go through numbers and colors and words and vowels, things like that. We're going to start to work on just those introductory things. Then we're going to move on and we're going to do a game about alleles and genes and genetics and how that you can get blue eyes from brown-eyed parents. And then we're going to end with things for PEMDAS or BODMAS. Here in the States, we call it PEMDAS, which is parentheses, exponent, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction, right? And so other places call it other things, but PEMDAS is what we're going to be doing for the last one. So we're going to start off with our Pear Dare template, and this is what we're going to use to have us relate colors to these kids. We're also going to have this be shapes as well. So we're going to have a couple of different levels to do this. I have now opened up the Pear Dare template. You can see we've got two different kind of menus on either side. On the left side, you've got your visual, your graphics, and your music. And then on the right side is the verbal, where it's all of your filled in stuff like descriptions and introductions and a little bit more of information. Right, so now this is for kids. I'm going to go ahead and just grab an avatar. Oh, I have been logged out. That was interesting. Hang on one sec, guys. There we go. We're back on. Sometimes that happens. So we're going to go, and I'm actually going to put a cute little animal avatar here. And I think we're just going to go with a puppy because kids like dogs, kids like animals, so we're going to go with that. Kids do also love the fair, but I think we'll maybe go with the school background if we can. Let's see if we've got any school-like backgrounds. This one has a lot fewer options simply because we have, let's see if there's anything in here. Simply because it's a background that needs to kind of contrast. Now, of course, we allow you guys to upload your own, so you can absolutely upload your own stuff. I'm going to see if I can't upload a background because I'm almost positive that I have some schools in here. Some backgrounds, titles. Hang on, why don't we go ahead and make a background together? Actually, this is going to be great. So I'm going to come into Canva. This is how I make my backgrounds. I come into Canva and I'm going to create a design right up here, and then I can come down to custom size. Backgrounds on BrushNet need to be 1920 by 8 by 1080 pixels. So you want to make sure that that's the ratio. I go into the custom size and I make it that ratio, and then we're set. We don't have to worry about it. So now I'm going to go into elements and we're going to search for school, and we're going to see, oh, how cute is that? That is really cute. We'll maybe just kind of go like this. This might end up being a live stream a little bit more about how you can make awesome backgrounds, but we'll see. Let's add some kids in here. They can hang out back here. Okay, I think that's good. We're gonna add a hill in the back. Do we want to make it a little bit wavy? So that's kind of lots of hills. I'll bring this down a little bit. Let's see what that looks like. That's not bad. All right, we kind of like that. We'll just leave it there. And then we're going to have our sky in the background, which we can do. Ooh, could just do that and have it. Oh, I actually really like that, and I'm going to keep those hills there, even though, yeah, I like it better with the hills, so we're going to leave that there. All right, so boom, now we have a really cool background. The one thing about this, I'm going to go back to my editor really quick. This green kind of film over this and these little boxes are actually not going to be there. The outlines of those boxes will be there, but that green kind of background, that opaque kind of background is not going to be there. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put 2 columns kind of right here, and we'll see if I can get it right. It might end up being in a wrong spot, but let's see if we can do that just to make it extra awesome, to see if we can make it so that they can really, really contrast. But we're going to do 2 of these. I'm just going to duplicate just in case it doesn't work and we don't want to spend too much time on this. We're going to go for our shapes. We can go like that and get shapes here. Oh, I already saw it. There it is, our shape. And I think we're going to have to go maybe a little bit wide even. Let's go like that. Maybe not that wide. I think that's good. Actually, we'll make it a little bit away from the thing. Okay, so we've got this. We're going to make another one. We're going to put it on the other side. If I can get this to go in the middle. I think that's good. And we're going to push it out a little bit more because I think there was a little bit more space in there between these. Okay, and now I don't want it to just be this flat kind of thing on here. One, I think I'm going to turn it into a purple. And then I think we're going to take that transparency way down. All right, we'll do it on these 1, 2. We're going to 59. Cool. All right, so we'll see. This might not work, but we'll have both of these just in case. Oops, did that go back? I want that to be right there. Right there. All right, we're going to share. We're going to download these. So when I download my collectibles, I always use a transparent background just because it looks so nice to have that kind of shape cut out. It's really dynamic, but you're also welcome to just keep it kind of a square. Let me get here. I'm going to save this in my backgrounds. And then we've got to extract this. Just 2 seconds. We'll be able to extract. Hang on, my computer has been acting really slow lately. So we'll see if this is going to work for me. It's not responding. Hang on. That's oh. I hope I'm still I'm not sure what just happened. My whole screen just went purple and then came right back. So I'm not entirely sure what just happened. I really hope I'm still connected. It looks like I'm still connected. So we're gonna hope that we're still connected. Oh my god, that's so funny. Okay, I'm not sure why my thing will not open. And this is not attached to the internet at all, actually. This has been, it's interesting. It's been all of my technology has kind of been like this. Ooh, she opened. Let's see if we can make this happen. All right, we're gonna do this together. Oh, what? All right, if I can't get this to happen right after this, we're just gonna go with a regular background because I wanna get into this. It's not responding again. What the heck? All right, whatever. It did it again. I don't know what's happening with my computer, but she's mad at me. Okay, so then we're gonna go with we're just gonna go with this beautiful circus background. We love circuses here in Brezhna. By the way, if you don't know, Brezhna is Brezhnaverse. We're launching the Brezhnaverse, that coming soon, which is our virtual carnival. You guys can actually own carnival stands like the one right down here, and people can play games in your carnival stands. You can actually monetize that, so it's really neat. I'm excited for that to come out. We're gonna just go with a awesome carnival, a circus kind of thing, and then we're going to add our collectibles. So I am going to come over to my verbal side to add my collectibles, simply because I want to make sure that they are matching together. And so we're going to come over here onto the right side. I've come into my questions tab, and then I'm going to come down, and you can see all of the panels have, like, there's a left and a right panel, and you want to make sure you're doing that correctly. So I'm going to click X out of all of these. X, X, X. Okay. So from here, I'm going to add my assets. So I'm going to have the name of the color on the left side, and I'm going to have the actual like thing of the color on the right side. And then after this, we're going to talk about the shape. So I'm going to add text so that I can add an actual bit of custom text here, and we're going to say blue. We can add that, and then we're going to add an asset here so that we can add a blue asset, and I think we're going to go with this cute little cube. And, or maybe we should stick with a square to make it simple. We'll go with cube. Add text, we're going to go red. And then collectible, add asset. Let's go into here. We need a red one. Ooh, that's red-ish, red-orange, but mostly red. And then we'll do yellow. I think there was a yellow shape in there. Add an asset, and yes, we've got a diamond. All right, perfect. So we've got our three. And now for this one, you actually cannot add more rows or more columns. You can add more levels. So if I wanted to also do purple, green, and pink or orange or whatever, I can do that in the next level. Now we're going to switch to shapes, but I can do that. Okay, so we're here. We're going to mix it up. This mix button here makes it so that every time your player plays, it's in a different order. So if you took this off, it would always show up in this order, where this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one. I like to keep it mixed because, especially if this is educational, you don't want people to memorize the place. You want them to memorize what the actual content is. So that's why we do that. So leaving it on mixed, you can see my avatar has been selected. My background has been selected. It is not the one we were hoping for, but that's okay. And now we're going to do our introduction. The introduction pops up before the player actually gets to the game, but after the player clicks play. So this will pop up and they have to read it. Here I'm going to write, let's go for pair the colors to their names. And actually I'm going to say the colored shapes just to kind of, to their color names. We're going to say matching color names. Okay. And so the reason I kind of changed that up a little bit, pair the colored shapes to their matching colored names, is because when, younger kids, you probably want to give a little bit more explanation to their matching color names and not just the name of maybe the shape or something else. You don't want them to get confused. So now I'm just going to say pair the color with or pair the shape. Actually, I should say the color name, since that's on the left, to their matching colored shapes. Boom. Pair the color names with their matching shape. I'll say something like that. Okay, so now we've got this all done. When they come on here, it will pop up with pair the name, the color name to their matching shape, and then the question here will just pop up right here. It will be showing so that your player always knows what is going on. Then I'm going to add a question here. We're going to go ahead and we might even just leave these, right? If we're now shifting to shape, the shape name to their matching shape. I'm not sure, I need some synonyms for the word shape. And then color or pair the shape names with their matching shape. There. All right, so now all I'm gonna do, instead of changing out these shapes, although I might change this one out, if we're going for a really low age range, then cube might not be on the docket, right? We might want to change this to a square. So I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to X out of that. We're going to make it a square. I might go switch it in the previous one as well, just because we want to make sure it kind of stays cohesive or consistent. But you can click this little pencil button and it will pop up and you can edit your text. So now I'm going to put square. Update the text. I'm going to edit this to an oval, which also is a little bit challenging for young kids, but that's okay. And then this one is diamond. Update text. And again, you guys can switch these out with whatever shapes you want. You can also upload your own shapes, right? If I wanted to have a red square or a green square, but I can't find one in here, then I can just upload one, right? You saw how easy it was to create something on Canva, and then you can upload it, and it's super, super easy. Square in particular is really easy because you don't have to cut anything out, right? Okay. Okay, so we've gotten our 2 levels here. We're going to come into our settings. Wait, let me double check. We've done our introduction, our question, we've mixed it up, and we've got our 3 things here. And then this is what we were gonna do. This is what I feel like I'm forgetting. We're gonna change this to a regular square. It also goes a little bit better. I mean, it just feels all like it's the same style, right? Okay, so now we have to go into our settings and we're gonna say kid pair fun kid pair fun something. All right, we're gonna go kid school shapes education, let's say elementary, mentari, there she goes. And these are tags that will help people find your games. So as we release our Breshna library and as our search feature becomes better and better, these types of things will allow other people to search for your games and play them. So you'll be able to teach all sorts of people with your games. So, collect player email, category first. We're going to add this into our education category. Same idea, it helps people to find your game. It helps your game to show up in the right category and essentially hit the right audience, right? So now I'm going to hit collect player email. This is so that you can actually collect the email of the player who is playing. So before they go in, they'll have to type in their email and their name, and then I can actually collect that. Here, I'm going to go back to my intro, and I'm going to take this little bit of to their matching colored shapes. So I'm going to take that little bit of instruction and I'm going to add it to my description, but I'm also going to add something about shapes or about how you can do something elementary, right? So we can say something like, learn your shapes and colors with Color Kid Fun. That's not what I called this, but it was a better Color Kid Fun. I do apologize. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. It looks like you can from the audio. It's just my neighbors. There's a couple of kids that live above me, and they are super amazing. They're great kids. Okay, so learn your shapes and colors with Color Kid Fun. Pair, and then we can just go like that. Pair the colored name to their matching colored shapes. And then we could do something here. So if you're a school, you could say, want to learn more? Head to our school website and sign up for class. And then website would go right here, right? So this is a great spot for you to provide a call to action. This is especially nice because you can kind of format it, so this website part can actually be below everything, and it's a little bit more obvious to your eye, so people can see it a little bit better. Now you do want to make sure it's a simple URL. Don't link like an article that has a whole bunch of words and a whole bunch of numbers and symbols to get there, because this is not a linked URL. This is just something there that people can use. So brush.io is something that you can use that you can literally just type right in, right? So that's our description. Our right to left text is going to stay off because we are using a script that goes left to right. So if you were doing something in Arabic or Urdu or Pashto or something like that, you would toggle that on, and then it would flip everything so that it actually makes sense and it reads from right to left. So we've gotten all of this fun stuff ready. I'm going to go ahead and preview this. It is going to come up into a new game, and then, or a new window rather. Yes, it's a new game because it's brand new and we've just played it. But it's going to pop into this new window, and then we can see how this kind of works, right? So here we are. This collect player email is going to come here. Now it knows that I am Jack, and so it says, welcome back, Jack. It will ask for people's names if it's the first time that they've signed in. Play, and we are going to go self-paced, easy, and here's that intro. Pair the color name to their matching colored shapes. Now, one of the things too is you can actually put calls to action in here as well. It is nice to put calls to action in here, like especially if you need help, go to, etc. If this is an educational game and they're struggling through a level, you want to provide somewhere for them to get help. This is a good spot to do that, as well as that description. The one thing that you do want to note is that it does stay in a paragraph, and so it doesn't actually, like, you can't format it, you can't, space things under, and things like that. So it's just something you want to watch out for. Maybe don't put too much stuff in here, because it is just a single paragraph. Anyway, we are coming through. And here is that amazing background, the pirate, the carnival. Now see, this is one of those reasons, this is why I wanted to make those columns, right? Because sometimes this white text on these backgrounds can look a little bit, it doesn't contrast very well. So we're going to adjust that. I'm going to hit blue, and I'm going to go over to blue. Yellow is right here, and red is up right here, and then it gives you a little bit of feedback. Yes, you are correct, or these are the answers, right? And then, of course, I hit home, that's okay. The about, missed the about our first time around. Learn your shapes and colors with Color Kid Fun. Pair the color name to their matching colored shapes. Want to learn more? Head to our school website and sign up for class. And actually, I might go ahead and change that. Right? So I might actually go back and say, pair the left column to the appropriate thing on the right column, right? I would try and figure out a way to say that, because now I've only given them instruction for the first level, right? And we don't want to do that. So I'm going to go back, we're going to play this again, self-paced, and you'll see also that these are in different orders, right? Now the red is on top where the blue was before, the blue was there, and the yellow goes across. And then we can go next. Pair the shape name to their matching shape. Again, need to make to their matching object, maybe? Probably object. We've got an oval, we've got a diamond, and we've got a square, just like that. Ta-da! And it gives you that feedback. So now you've made an awesome game. That's really great for kids. It's really great to do anything. If you want to do vowels, you could do vowels, consonants. Maybe you could even do, I don't even know. Actually, you could just continue to do shapes and numbers, which is kind of neat. Okay, so now, theoretically, I would go back and change the background. I would go back and change my description. Because I want to make sure that we have enough time to do both of the next games, I'm going to go ahead and skip and go back and do that later. So now we are coming into our pick and play all the way down here at the bottom. Now, this is an interesting way to use this. We're actually going to talk about alleles, and so you can see here from the kind of animation, it's a game where you take items or objects or icons or whatever, and you try and get people to guess a word. So here it's showing a star and a fish, and that means it's starfish, right? but I realized there was a really interesting thing that you could do, because you can use up to 4 images, and if you wanted to, you could use this in a way, so up to 4 images, but the way that I'm going to use this today is I'm going to only choose 2, and I'm going to have it so that we're going to ask our player if you can get blue eyes from these combos of alleles, right? So if you don't know what it is, it's part of your genes. Everyone gets 1 allele from your mom and 1 from your dad for one particular thing, and now this is really oversimplified, but 1 from each. And so if you've got a dominant gene, that dominant gene will show. So brown eyes are dominant. If you have 1 brown allele, you will and 1 blue allele, you will have brown eyes. But if you have 2 blue alleles, then you will have blue eyes, and that is why brown-eyed parents can make blue-eyed babies, because they would both have the allele for blue eyes. Okay, so now that we've had like a refresher course, I guess, on that, we're going to come through here and we're going to set this up. So of course, first we're going to set our avatar. I'm going to do something fun. Again, what else do I have in here? This guy is very cute. Let's see. I don't know what to choose for this one. Let's use, you know what, I want to go back. We're going to use my cute little falling cat. So, background. Let's see, we do have a school for this one. Thought we would have a school for this one. So I think we've got a couple of options for schools. We've got this very cute, kind of in the center, almost looks like a barn to me without the school showing. So we're gonna go into something else. School. This one always gives me school vibes. Definitely gives me school vibes. So I'm gonna choose this one, and it's gonna be cool. I'm going to skip over collectibles. I mentioned this, or I forgot to mention this in the previous game, but you can select music. So you just go through and you choose a song by sampling it first with these little triangle buttons. Click the pink play button, or the pink cross button rather, to add it to your game, or you can click no music and you won't have any music on the game. Now be aware though, some of our templates, not all of them, some of our templates have a default song attached. So if you click no music, but you don't actually add any music, a default song will apply, and that will play while your players are playing. How many times can you use the word play in a single sentence? Okay, so we are at our introduction. All of the introductions for this is going to be, can you get blue eyes from this combo? So, can you get blue eyes from this combination of alleles, right? And so the word is going to either be yes or no. And for this first one, we're going to say yes. And the hint is simply going to be a reminder of how alleles work. So it's going to say, remember, to get blue eyes, you need both alleles. Yes, I actually wrote this out a little bit ago and it was so much better. You need both alleles. There it is. That was nice. 2 blue. And that's all I'm going to say, right? Remember, to get blue eyes, you need to get 2 blue alleles. So can you get eyes from this combination of alleles here? And then in the description, I'll probably write something about how you get 1 allele from your mom and from your dad, right? So now I'm going to go through, I'm going to get rid of these automatic kind of default images that are applied, and I'm going to add these custom ones that I have already uploaded. So I made these in Canva, and they're just 2 alleles that are different colors to symbolize whether or not they are brown or blue eyes. So I'm going to add a double blue. So we've got mom has blue eyes with two blue alleles, and then dad has brown eyes with 1 and 1, right? So yes, you can get blue eyes from this combination of alleles. So we're going to add 4 levels. I'm going to go ahead and add. We're going to say, I'm actually going to add all 4 of them directly and then come back to 2. And the reason that I did that is because I want to actually keep one of these for one of my future combos, and I want to keep the word yes. I want to keep the word can you get blue eyes, or the introduction. I want to keep this hint. All of those are going to be the same. So if I go ahead and fill those out first and then add the levels, I can actually, it'll duplicate, and so I don't have to fill in that. Oh my goodness, I just got something in my eye. Okay, so we are on level 2. You can see what level you are working on with this little pink kind of banner here, I guess. And then, of course, you can toggle between the levels by select level. So I'm going to make sure I'm on level 2. Minimum 2 images, maximum 4, and we're going to get rid of that. Now I am going to say, can you get blue eyes? This one is going to be a no. So I'm here, we're going to come all the way down, and I'm going to say, boop, no, you can't get blue eyes from this combo, because no matter what, you're going to have one brown eye allele from mom or dad. So the answer is no. Now we're going to go to level 3. We're going to say get rid of this. We're going to add an image and an asset. We're going to make this one very obvious and have it be, oh no, what am I doing? We're going to have 2 of these. There you go. So yes, you can still get blue eyes from 2 brown-eyed parents. And we just make sure, yes, we are different. And then finally, we're going to come in here. We double check what I had, brown and half, good. And then we're going to do a very obvious one with 2 browns. Obviously, no. And actually, why not? We're going to add a 5th level, and this one will be, oh, hang on, gotta go back. Gotta go back, make sure that word has been changed. You know. No. Okay. And now we can go to our level 5. That's yes, and then we're going to do 2 blues, and, oops. 1, 2. Perfect. Okay, so it's really simple, right? It's a really cool way. No, it's not like technically how the game is supposed to be played, right? Because I'm not having them guess a word, but I am having them look at these panels and decide, is this something that can create blue eyes or not? It's a really great way to start to do all sorts of genetics. And when you go into, you know, like the pea experiments where everybody's growing different types of peas. I don't know if everybody did that or if that's just something that was around when I was growing up, but a lot of us ended up having to like grow different types of plants and figure out which kind of genes are in the plants depending on how they've continued to grow and how they've continued to show up, right? So that was actually a really fun way to do that. We have gone through everything except for here, our description, title, etc. So let's end on this game info tab. We are going to call this allele blue eye guess. You guys know my names, my game titles are awful, but but the game is fun. So. All right, our tags, back to tags. Remember that we want to do this so that people can find our game. So I'm going to probably put genetics. No, that was right. Genetics, alleles, science. What was his name? Oh, I was just going to... no. I have Newton and I have... Nope. Okay, well, his name is not going to be in there. Oh, it's up on the tip of my tongue. You guys, if I was... not stressing about time. It's like a sneeze. It's right there. I'm gonna have to look it up afterwards. Oh my gosh, it's bugging me. It's like an itch. Okay, we're going back into education. This is a very educational game. I'm going to leave off collect player email. You guys have seen what that looks like. I will try and remember to go back and grab it before I finish up this live stream. And grab it meaning show you how to access and find that email so you can follow up with them or you can see who's playing or whatever. and then we're going to about the game. So I'm going to put here something about how this works. So everyone has two sets of alleles for each gene. And again, this is very simplified. Am I spelling this wrong? Oh, ES. Okay. It's very simplified, right? Like skin color is very mixed and stuff like that. Hair color is very mixed. But eyes are fairly simple. And again, this is just the simplified version of it. So anyway, everyone has two sets of alleles for each gene. One and one from dad. So dominant genes are always show when present. In order to have blue eyes, recessive gene, you must have both alleles, both your alleles, we have an ES at the end of that, both your alleles must be blue. Go through the combos to see if these parents can make blue eye babies. Ta-da! Now that's a little bit of information, blah, blah, blah. I might even go back and do something here of like, can you get blue eyes? Read the description. On the home screen to get help, right? You can also put your website, your call to action here, go to this study guide, go to whatever, and that you can actually add there as well. Okay, so that is all the things we are going to go ahead and preview coming in. I'm actually really excited about this one. Well, I'm kind of excited about all my games, but I actually find it funny too. You might have, anybody who's watched me for a while might have caught this. I often say this template is one of my favorites, and I genuinely mean that. But it's across a lot of templates. I realized it just, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago that I do that. Okay, so we have come through. Wait, hang on. Let me go back. Let me refresh this because I just blasted through all of that. So we're here. We're going to go through the about first. And that could even be a thing if you're a teacher. You can say, make sure you go through the about and read the description before you go to play the game. Or not. Or you could just have them, hopefully remember what you've taught. All right, everyone has two sets of alleles for each gene, one from mom and one from dad. Dominant genes always show when present. In order to have blue eyes, which is a recessive gene, both your alleles must be blue. Go through the combinations of alleles to see if these parents can make blue-eyed babies. And actually, okay, hang on. Blue-eyed babies is a very cute. It's a very cute name. We're gonna steal that. Oop. Okay. We're gonna keep this here. And this will refresh in just a second. Now, we are going to play. Now, here we get, can you get blue eyes from this combo of alleles? And we're coming in. Loading. And you can see we've got a brown and a blue. We've got a blue and a blue. I may even go back and put borders around these. So it is interesting that this is really difficult to see. Now you can still see it, or I might even put a background that doesn't have something right here, because you can still see it right up here, right? This is one of those really important things that you should play your games, even if you think they're amazing, even if you think they're perfect, play your games so that you can see those little tiny things when you're playing. Remember, to get blue eyes, you need 2 blue alleles. So obviously this is a yes. And then we go through our game. Here we have one blue allele, but there's no way for us to get a second one, so no, this is not what we want. Continuing forward, can you get blue eyes? Yes, we could, theoretically. There are 2 blue options. Dun, dun, dun. And then the 2 easiest ones, which we should probably, probably put towards the beginning, are our full brown and our full blue here. Yes. And there you go. So that's our game. Okay, I am not going to create another game on this. I am actually going to see, let me see if my internet is working enough for this search function. Because, here we go. Here we go. So this is Bodmas Bonanza, and it's the same. Bodmas and PEMDAS are the same things, right? So I remember learning about alleles around 4th or 5th grade. The first one that we did was, very elementary. Kindergarten, 1st grade, maybe 2nd grade, but at that point, they might be a little bit further forward. I don't teach, so I'm not sure what the typical thing it is for that, right? But Bodmas I was learning in middle school, or 6th grade to 7th grade, right? We call it PEMDAS. So this is a game where you go around, this is our clue crawl template, and you walk around solving these different problems in kind of a scavenger hunt type thing. So it's going to load here. We have Bodmas Bonanza. Learn maths with the basic rule of Bodmas. Brackets, order of powers, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Let's begin. We're going to go ahead and come through, solve the equations, and now it's going to open up into a really nice map, and we're going to be able to walk around and solve different equations. So find the thing that helps you find your way. So I see a map right here. Let's go ahead and just go for the map. Or that's not a map, it's a sign, I guess. And now this is exactly it, right? We want to make sure we do inside the parentheses or inside the brackets. So 10 minus 5 is 5, and then we multiply that by 4, and that is 20, and we've unlocked. Hook this to your car for a portable shelter. I actually think that that's just this one right here. Hey. All right, again, multiplication goes first. 9 times 6 is 54, and 58 would be our answer. Find what helps us see the stars. There is an observatory up here somewhere. Let's find it. There it is. And then 4 times 5 minus 2, that's 18. I'm actually doing this math in my head like really fast. I'm impressed with myself today. And that's, you've won, right? If I was making this for an actual class, I would probably add like, I don't know, 3 more, just so that it's 6 and they get, a lot of practice. And you can continue to do this for whatever. So if you wanted to make this something where these different questions ended up, a lot more difficult, maybe they were for 10 minus 5 multiplied by 4 and then plus 2 divided by 3, right? We could really get complicated in this. Now, the one thing about this is you might want to have them show their work in some sort of a way. That is not doable on here. There's no way for them to input anything other than what they've, other than the correct answer, obviously. So something just to think about, you might want to, as a teacher, provide a way for them to show their work if you're going to start to really get into intense equations, or things like substitutions, right? Like z equals, because you've got 2x plus 3y minus 5z equals blank, and you're trying to solve for z, right? You can do a lot of those different things. I am just realizing how often I say the word right. I don't know why, it just hit, like I heard it, and it was like, that's like the 3rd or 4th time I've said that in, I think, the last 10 minutes. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me for another Brush Note Breakdown. We always appreciate you guys being here. This was the first part in our 3-part series of different age groups. So we're doing education for different age groups. So we're doing kind of elementary, middle school, and then middle school up through slightly higher education, just beyond high school, and then we're going to do above that. So how do we teach people things that who are 40, 50, 70 years old, and they might not even be interested in learning things through games, right? You got to trick them a little bit. So I guess you got to trick kids too, but whatever. So if you want some help, if you have questions, anything like that, you are welcome to go ahead and email us at gaminginfo@gamingfordev.com, or you can book a live demo session with our Breshna team. And so that just means that it's totally free. You can book half an hour session with us, ask any questions that you want, maybe brainstorm or get any help creating your first game, and that's that. So thank you guys again for joining me on another Breshna Breakdown. As a reminder, we do have a Bolt Bonfire on Twitter every week. We have changed it. It is a little bit later. It is at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, whereas before it was about 2 hours earlier. It started at the same time as we start here in the Breshna Breakdown, but we did want to make it a little bit later just so that we could adjust kind of those times. People could come to both. So, very much appreciate every single one of you. I hope that all of you have a great time creating games, and thanks for being